Hi everyone, and welcome to Okay Seriously with Natasha. I am your host, Natasha Jameson. I am excited to welcome my special guest, Nicole Scott. She is a registered holistic nutritionist, healthy lifestyle expert, rest mindset coach, and the author of The Gorgeous Gray Movement. With over 16 years of experience, Nicole is here to help us understand how nutrition, mental wellness, and gut health are all connected and important in overall health. Welcome to the show, Nicole. I'm so excited to have you on because your philosophy is that everybody should feel their very best, and you're able to do that through your whole philosophy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. It's very, very important. So my intention for the show is also to clarify the impact of nutrition, not only for weight loss, but for mental health and wellness. Let's start with how nutrition affects our mental health.
Yeah, well, what I can say about mental health and nutrition is that if we don't clean up our diet, it's really going to affect our mental health over the years. We're going to dive into the gut health and how that all works a little bit later.
Yes.
But I mean, take a teenager that goes out and parties all night.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And eats the junk and drinks a lot. And the next day is mothers. What do we have to do? We have to deal with their nasty attitude and their grumpiness. That's damage done, right? And it's impacting the way that they're showing up to the world, right? So that's a great example because I'm living through that right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to clean up your diet so that you can be a nicer human being.
Yes, please. Yes, go back to bed and then come back fresh. No, I had no idea, honestly. I had no idea that they were connected until I really wanted to interview you because I thought this was so important.
Yeah.
I really didn't understand how they're both connected because that's huge. To be able to understand that is so huge.
It is absolutely. Yeah. And we could be helping a lot of, I'm going to say, kids today in school if we were just feeding them right and giving them the right nutrition so we could support their gut health, which then would support their brain health so they could focus and they could be the best version of themselves, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. What are you seeing in your practice with respect to the after effects of COVID, some struggles? How can we help one another? Or how can you help them?
Well, I would say the struggle was real.
It's very real.
For COVID. And so people showed up differently in COVID. So I always think of the ocean, and you're out in the ocean. Some people were, in a dinghy. Some were in a little, life jacket, but some people got through it okay. And they were in the big, beautiful, fancy yachts. Everyone showed up and dealt with COVID differently, right? Yes. And so we need compassion. We need to be kinder.
Yes.
We need to stop judging. If somebody wants to wear a mask still,
that's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay. How does it affect you? It doesn't.
Right? Yeah. I know that people will get these weird looks out there and stuff. And I'm we just need more love and compassion. That's right. Because we don't know what that person has gone through. We don't know the loss that they have suffered. Right. We don't know their mental health condition. We don't know if they lost a job. We don't know if they're struggling financially. So we just need to show up to be kinder to every human being, no matter what the situation.
Yeah. This is not just for COVID. This is in general. It would be a lovely way of living, don't you think? If we could just understand that people are going through their own struggles in different ways, different intensities, and this is their way of coping and surviving.
Absolutely.
It's really, really important.
Yeah.
So we're just going to a little bit more specific about, maybe how men and women over 40 can deal with the changing aspects.
Yeah.
We're talking about mental health, but this is also another component of all that.
Right. As we age, right? So important. So the first thing I think when I talk to men and women is that, having a conversation that we are getting older and it's okay. It's almost like accepting it.
Yes.
But then in the fact of nutrition and lifestyle is that as we get older, we have to shift our lifestyle and we have to show up cleaner than we ever have been.
Yes.
So what we could get away with in our teenagers.
Can't do it.
And 20s and 30s, right? Oh my gosh, if I could eat a bag of chips and a bottle of wine every single day, heck, why not?
That's right. That's
right?
I know.
They taste good.
Yes.
I love the crunch. But guess what? That would show up very differently on my body in my 50s.
Yes.
And so just to have that conversation and realistic expectations of we still have to move. We still have to get our sleep. We still have to drink our water.
Yes.
But as we get older, we have to even eat a cleaner diet.
That's right.
Because our liver's slowing down, our other organs are slowing down. And so we need to really nourish them, especially if we have abused them. from a young age, right?
Absolutely.
And it does catch up. And they say around that age 45 to 50 is when we really start to see it catch up with us. So you'll go to a reunion, and you'll see, holy cow, that person is like really aged.
Yeah.
And then you'll see someone else to say, wow, have they ever aged well?
That's right.
And you know that they have just learned to take care of their body.
Exactly.
Right? Self-love.
I'm so glad that you said that, because we cannot stop, and you shouldn't want to stop aging. Yeah. But you can be your best self at every age and feel good about it. Yeah. And I think there's power in that. Like,
Absolutely.
Take your power back.
Yeah.
But you're so right. You can really see somebody who's like 40 with one lifestyle and 40 in a different. Yeah. And it is night and day. And I think it accelerates the older we get.
It does?
It does. I can see that it speeds up. So it's really, really important to understand and it, accepting it and understanding what your part in it is. Yeah. We have to take responsibility and accountability.
We absolutely do.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, Nicole. In your opinion, why is activity, resistance training, kind of like really like doing that self-love, taking care of yourself, beneficial if anyone's struggling with mental health, mental wellness, or just having a hard, period in their life, whatever it may be, because it's different for everybody.
Yeah. So I know just even for myself, when I get out for a walk in nature, which I do every day, it just clears my mind.
Yes.
It allows me to maybe cool down if I've had a heated conversation with a family member, like a grumpy teenager, right? Instead of saying the words that you don't, just go for a walk and come back with a different perspective.
That's key.
So I almost like I call it my gratitude walk.
Oh,
right?
That's nice.
Raising up your vibration, raising up. And so, mental health, if you can just get to a place where you're appreciating things more and just movement. The other thing too is it stimulates your neurotransmitter serotonin, which is a chemical in your brain, and we can eat some really good food to help it. But even movement will start to create that serotonin high, which increases your mood and increases your energy. So if someone's struggling with mental health, we know that their mood's not great and probably their energy isn't great. They want to stay in bed all day. So that movement is really important from a chemical rebalancing, is you're creating different signals in the brain.
Yeah. And even if you're having a bad day, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your physiology or whatever. It just means you had a rough day. Sometimes the best medicine is just, I train Muay Thai. So I go and I'm just like, this is my medicine. I don't take a pill. This is my medicine. Because if I don't go, I get very quiet and I'm kind of a chatterbox. Dan's like, and she's really loud when she laughs. He's laughing right now. But it's really, really important. And I know that to be my philosophy, but I didn't know that before. So I struggled quite a bit with things that came at me. So I'm glad we're having this open conversation about it.
And everybody has heard the runner's high.
The runner's high.
Go for a run and get your high.
That's right. Right. And that's exactly the serotonin, all the physiology that you're talking about that kind of resets you. In what way can mental wellness through nutrition reduce what we're talking about, stress and depression? And how can we be mindful of what we're consuming daily? I think it's really important. We have to give people just some simple tips and tricks.
Yeah. Well, I would say, as a nutritionist, when I'm working with a client, is when you look at your plate, that half of your plate should be your vegetables and fruit. So I'm always like your green leafy vegetables, your broccolis, your cauliflower, your cruciferous, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Cruciferous vegetables, because that's supporting detox in the liver, right?
Okay.
So we need to always be thinking about diversity on your plate too. So don't just be eating the same foods all the time.
Change it up.
So eat colorful, right? So half of your plate, a good source of protein, plant or meat, and then maybe your starchy vegetable or your source of carbohydrate may be coming from a whole grain.
Sure.
Right? So that would be what your plate could look like. So maybe analyze your plate. Are you eating that consistently, 2 to 3 times a day?
Okay.
And then clean water, lots of water, hydration. Sleep is so important, especially as we get older, and kids, they need lots of sleep. And then I would say movement, right? The movement, the sleep, the water, and getting your plate right is so important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that those factors, it's not that we don't know them, but it's really important if we're really trying to make a change.
Yeah.
you know what I mean, if we're trying to get better and do better and be mindful of these factors that could affect our, you know, mental wellness.
Absolutely.
So what are the 3 things that we can implement today to heal and like be more healthy?
Right.
So, I mean, are you big on journaling? I'm really not. Charlotte can tell you because she was on my show and she's like, Natasha, I'm going to show you a way. Still hasn't worked, Charlotte. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I failed her. But maybe writing things down, like what other kind of things can our viewers implement today?
So writing a list down of the things that bring you joy. So what?
Okay, right? Experiences or something, or what you've done.
Like, you know, is there a sport? Is there a hobby? And maybe just a simple task of like, you know, I get joy from, you know, knitting, or I get joy, do more of, right? Do more of what brings you joy. Do you love to be in the kitchen? Do you love to cook? Do you love to bake? Then do more of what you love. That's the first thing.
The first one, okay.
I would also say, in regards to mental wellness and stuff like that, the joy factor, but food we always have to focus on. So play it as a game. When you go to the grocery store and you go into the produce section, pick a new vegetable every single week and try it. Research it.
That's smart.
You know, what is it? What would be the benefit of it? What are the vitamins? Like play a game with your family and your kids would be another thing. And then for families, we stopped cooking together. We stopped eating together. So I would love to see families do more of that, even if it's one day a week. How about pick that sacred Saturday or Sunday and that you get to cook together. Teach our kids to cook.
Yes, it's a life skill is very important.
Yes. And then sit down and enjoy and have real conversation and put your devices technology down. Lock them up.
Yeah.
Right? Have a day of no technology so that you can actually connect to humans again. Because I think you know, our necks are cramping up because we're doing so much of that.
And it's so necessary and needed. Like I can like see it in people.
Yeah.
We have missed that. It's changed kind of our perspective, but we need to get back to that connection, enjoying more of like, you know, the things that bring you joy, like you said. And like you said, try something different that you haven't before and try it together. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe you won't. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you're kind of having that conversation and you're reconnecting.
Yeah, reconnect.
So that's really good. Since nutrition is connected to mental health, what is the first thing you look for in a client? So somebody comes to you.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that you kind of look for? What do you ask?
Well, it's symptomatology that we start to do. There is, you know, the basic questions, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, like where's your energy? Right. Right. Even creating a food journal. So
will they be honest though, or are they afraid to tell you the truth? Or
well, it depends on the person, right? Like it's like you don't have to lie to me. Like if you want me to help you and
you have to be honest,
get you on a healing path. I need to know honestly, like on a scale of 1 to 10, I need to know about energy. I need to know about bowel health. I need to know about, are you on prescription or not? You know, I need to honestly know what you eat. Like, how are you feeding your cells, right? So foundationally, that's where we start. And of course, you know, blood work. You have to make sure that, you know, your client is updated, because you can't play Russian roulette with a client until you know what their picture looks like, right? So that would always be like, make sure that you're working with a health professional that can get all of your blood data updated. And then you can take that information to your health professional. And then you can create a plan in place. So I'll give you an example. My daughter came back from Banff. She's a vegetarian. She right away had symptoms that she was deficient.
Really?
Right?
Okay.
So right away we went to her naturopath. We did live blood analysis. We got her blood work down. Absolutely. Her ferritin levels were 14. 14.
Wow.
No wonder why she can't get out of bed. No wonder why she has a hard time getting through a shift. But we were able to get to root cause, and now we get to put the right foods in her body to bring that up so she can feel better from the inside out, right?
So what has that, so that you kind of like implemented in her diet? Like what foods have that?
Well, I told her what a clean vegetarian diet could look like and what she needs to eat. And I asked her if she can commit to doing that all the time when she travels to Europe in September. And she said no. Then I said, we have to start adding some meat protein in. Okay. So now she's willing to feed herself properly with a balance of meat and plant protein.
Yes.
Because
and feel more
you have to be so committed to a certain, or we have, and we are of course adding the supplements as well to bring her iron levels up so she can go and travel and have adventure and be her best version, right?
Beautiful. I think this kind of stuff also happens with the younger kids that are kind of like numb all day because of the screen time and lack of sleep.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm actually even experimenting with my own sleep right now. So about 3 months ago, I got this ring. It's called the Aurora ring, and it tracks my sleeping. So every morning when I wake up, I get to see how I'm sleeping. So for people that are on screen, so when I watch a movie late at night, when I am on a conference call at 9 o'clock at night, my REM sleep, which is brain recovery, is minimal. So it should be an hour and 30 minutes to an hour and 45, my REM sleep. Last night, because I stayed up quite late, and there, it wasn't good. I was on my screen. I got 29 minutes of REM sleep. Wow. So imagine what that is happening to our children. They go to bed at night. And so we wonder why mental health and brain function it's the REM sleep. They're not getting the REM sleep. They're not getting brain recovery.
Oh my goodness. Like every single night. Because every single time they're on devices or at school or too late. So so they're walking around like little zombies, super tired, not able to retain information.
Nothing.
So why are our cells important in supporting overall wellness? This has to do with their physiology, obviously. The DNA tests, all those testing tests that you absolutely need. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Kids, adults, everybody.
Well, just like think of a house plant. And a house plant, we feed it. We maybe give it nutrition. You got one behind you. It's like, wow, it's beautiful. You take care of it. A houseplant is kind of like a human body, though. If we don't give it the right nutrition, the right water, right? If you look under a microscope with your cells, and the health of that cell is based on the last 4 months, 3 to 4 months of what you fed it.
Yes.
So I myself do live blood analysis every 3 to 4 months. And I check in with my naturopath to see the health of my cells. Oh, wow. So if I got derailed and went down to Mexico and partied for 3 or 4 months,
it will show up
on my cells. They will look straggly. They won't be bright as the sun. They'll be dehydrated. And then that's how I feel. I don't feel great. So cells are so important. And the cool thing is for your audience that's working, men, women, children, whatever you're going to eat and put in your body over the next 3 to 4 months will show up, and you will start to feel better. So you can our cells regenerate. That's great. Right? So every 3 to 4 months, our red blood cells regenerate. So we have the opportunity as, our like own hero. We can show up as long as we're making sure we're feeding the cells with the right nutrition and hydration.
Even at that level, that small level can affect your whole wellness and mindset and everything. And not feeling good. And you're thinking that, you have even bigger problems than maybe you have, but it's like, it just comes down to feeding what your body needs. Right. Instead of depleting it. Being in starvation mode in a way.
And then the houseplant, if you see like, a big leaf and it's dying, what do we typically do? We're like, we cut it off and we maybe expect it to grow fast. But my message to the human body is like, even talking to a teenager, Mom, how can I feel better now? Well, it does take time. It does. It's like, I don't have a magic pill for you to feel better instantly.
Wouldn't that be great?
Right? So I just tell people you have to be patient. You do. So give it 3 to 4 months of new healthy habits. You'll start to, change over your, gut health and microbiome, which I know we're going to get into. But just be patient and don't give up. Right? It's a journey. Health is a journey. And we're always evolving.
Absolutely. But you will slowly start to see benefits. You're just not going to be optimal maybe, right? Because we have to give something like positive for people like to understand, yes, it's going to take a little bit of time, but you're going to see a difference. You're going to feel better. You're going to change. You're going to see progress.
Absolutely. So like on a scale of 1 to 10, if you want to go after that 10 for energy and you're sitting at a 2, it's going to take a bit of time, but you're moving through the right.
Yes, absolutely.
So maybe you stop drinking alcohol and it's day number 3 and you're just starting to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have that fuzzy. And then by day 7, you're like, wow, I've got more energy.
Right.
So it's this gradual progress, but it's not going to happen in one night.
No.
You know, I love the kids.
Yeah.
If I eat this salad right now, Mom.
That's it.
Will I be a rock star tomorrow?
I know, right? I went to the gym once and I want to be like, you know, really, really fit and
Where's
cut.
my 6
That's
pack?
right. I don't understand. I went once. It's so true. So it all stems from gut health. Let's explain that.
Yes.
What is gut health and why is it important?
Yeah.
Help share with us.
Some of your viewers might have heard that your gut is your second brain, right? So we're like 99% critters.
Yes.
Right? Bacteria. Yes. And so with brain health, we have the second gut. They're very powerful. And so I want to talk about real quickly gut health. When people have good gut health, we just know it. Yeah. Right? You're going to the bathroom 1, 2, 3 times a day. Right. It's coming out naturally. You're like, whoa, you're giving yourself a like, wow, look what I just did. Especially kids, right? That's right. They get so excited. That's right. But we also know what poor gut health is, right? Go out, binge drink, eat a bunch of junk food, have pizza at 2 o'clock in the morning, wake up the next day, and what happens? I'm feeling constipated. Yeah. I'm feeling bloated. That's right. I'm feeling like you can hear the gurgling going on, right? Yeah. And your gut's not happy. So I like to say, in your gut, you have good guys and you have bad guys. I'm going to keep it really simple. That's good. And so with the bad guys love the sugar, the processed food, the alcohol, tons of meat, you know, fried food. And then the good guys, guess what the good guys love? Plants. And what are most people deficient in today? We're not eating enough plants. So the simple solution that you can start to do with gut health is start to reduce the foods that are feeding the gut bad guys, and we want more good guys, okay? And when you do that, the brain starts to heal. We create over 70% serotonin in our gut.
That's 70%. A lot.
That's our happy transmitters.
Holy,
but it happens in the gut, as well as our immune system is in the gut.
It's in the gut.
So if somebody has a poor immune system, we got to heal the gut, right? Hormone issues, we got to work on the gut. And there's different testing that you can do. And a lot of people have undiagnosed parasites that are taking over and maybe not feeling good too. So you'd have to do, you know, some parasite tests. As well, GI mapping testing as well. You can really deep dive, but you definitely need to find a holistic practitioner. A lot of the medical doctors aren't, you know, trained in this type of stuff. So you're going to look at a functional medicine practitioner, a holistic nutritionist, somebody that specializes in gut health so that you can start working with them. But really simple foods that you can start eating like right now. For gut health, plants. So what plants could you start to eat? Diversified plants, green plants, colorful plants, fermented foods. Love fermented foods? How about sauerkraut, right?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
If you've just gone through a round of antibiotics, probiotics, right? So you can get some probiotics, like 50 billion. Make sure it's in the refrigerator. If you, I rotate my probiotics, so that's really important, is rotating. Some people just buy the same strain over and over again.
Oh, so there's different ones. I did not know that.
Many different strains. So just get different varieties because, again, those probiotics are feeding the good guys.
That's right.
So you want diversity.
Diversity. It's all about diversity.
Yeah.
In your nutrition and even with the gut health.
And the gut. Healthy gut, healthy brain. Yeah. Healthy gut, healthy brain.
You're giving me so much food for thought. Like, I really had no idea that there was such a connection, to be honest, that everything stemmed from like nutrition, and it all ultimately those are symptoms to like a bigger issue.
Absolutely.
In the gut.
It's huge. If we can start to help heal the gut, like think of how healthy the world would be. If we started to get rid of and reduce those foods that are harming us, right? One thing I do want to say with mental health is a big one, is the level of deficiency of vitamin D that we have in Canada. Most people, unfortunately, are not supplementing with vitamin D, or they're not supplementing enough. So I'm a big fan of making sure you stay on track of your vitamin D. Mental health, depression, that sadness is as low levels of vitamin D.
Oh, wow.
Very important. And everyone's going to be different. They say, Nicole, how much vitamin D should I take? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe 2,000, maybe 5,000. If you're really deficient, I'm going to say probably 10,000.
How would you know? Through a blood test? Is it blood tests?
Yeah, not covered by
now,
OPA.
I was going to say, I think you have to pay for that, but it's worth it.
So worth it.
If you're not feeling good and you want to get to the root of it, you know, you need to go and investigate and find the root of the problem.
Stay on top of your vitamin D. I just got mine done with my daughter, and we're both in the high zone, so we're perfect. We'll keep with our kind of 2,000 every day.
I love it.
Because that's working. And through the summer too.
Yeah. You know, we're at the end of the show, and you know, my last question, you saw my other shows, right?
Yeah.
My last question is, what is your takeaway for our amazing viewers?
Yeah, my takeaway.
Just sum up so that people can kind of we can get them right on track.
It's just that you're worth it. You're worth investing in your health now. Put a team together of people that can take care of your body. You're going to be the responsible one, but a team in place so that when you are feeling off, you can go to your team and get back on track really fast. So that is my message. You're worth it.
It's a beautiful, you're worth it. You're worth it. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And we wish you continued success with everything. We'll have you on again. I'm sure I can feel it already. Thank you so much. That is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel. And until next time, bye.